The 1950s marked the dawn of American performance cars, with manufacturers beginning to experiment with powerful V8 engines in sporty designs. While the term muscle car became popular in the 1960s, its roots can be traced to this earlier era. However, not all 1950s performance cars managed to shine. Some struggled to deliver the power, style, or market appeal needed to compete in a growing segment. Here are the top 12 muscle cars of the 1950s that failed to leave their mark.
Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support.
Number 12, 1953 Oldsmobile Super 88, a car that promised to deliver cutting-edge performance with its rocket V8 engine, but fell short due to its design compromises and lack of agility. The Super 88 is an interesting case study in how even a promising engine cannot save a vehicle weighed down, literally and figuratively, by its shortcomings. The early 1950s were a time of growth and experimentation in the American auto industry. Post-war prosperity fueled consumer demand for cars that combined performance, style, and innovation. Oldsmobile was riding high on the success of its Rocket V8, introduced in 1949, which helped establish the brand as a leader in performance. By 1953, Oldsmobile aimed to continue this momentum with the Super 88, a model designed to appeal to buyers who wanted both luxury and power. However, as we'll see, the car failed to meet these expectations. The Super 88 shared much of its design language with other Oldsmobile models, featuring a rounded, bulbous shape typical of the era. Chrome accents and a prominent front grille gave it a substantial, upscale appearance. While the design was not unattractive, it lacked the sleekness and modernity that competitors like Buick or Chevrolet were beginning to introduce. The Super 88 was powered by Oldsmobile's 303 cubic inch Rocket V8, which delivered 165 horsepower. This engine was considered revolutionary when first introduced, offering smooth power delivery and respectable acceleration for the time. However, by 1953, competitors were catching up, and the engine's performance was no longer groundbreaking. The Super 88 was a heavy car, with curb weights exceeding 3,800 pounds depending on the trim. The additional weight blunted the effectiveness of the Rocket V8, making the car feel sluggish compared to lighter, more agile models. Handling was also a challenge, as the Super 88 suspension was tuned more for comfort than cornering ability. Oldsmobile positioned the Super 88s as a mid-tier option, offering more luxury than Chevrolet, but at a lower price point than Cadillac. However, this middle ground approach meant the Super 88 lacked the clear identity needed to stand out in a competitive market. While the Rocket V8 was capable, the Super 88's substantial weight negated much of its potential. Acceleration and top speed were adequate but uninspiring, especially compared to sportier offerings from other brands. The rounded, conservative design failed to capture the imagination of buyers looking for something sleek and modern. Competitors like the Buick Roadmaster and Chevrolet Bel Air offered more eye-catching designs that better aligned with changing consumer tastes. The Super 88 prioritized a comfortable ride over dynamic performance, which alienated buyers seeking a more engaging driving experience. Body roll and imprecise steering made the car feel cumbersome on the road. By 1953, nearly every automaker had a V8-powered model, many of which offered better performance or more attractive styling than the Super 88. Models like the Chevrolet Bel Air and Ford Crestline began to eclipse the Super 88 in terms of value and appeal. The 1953 Super 88 marked a transitional period for Oldsmobile. While the Rocket V8 remained an important part of the brand's identity, it was no longer enough to carry the Super 88 to success. The car's lack of refinement and identity highlighted the challenges Oldsmobile faced in maintaining its leadership in the performance market. Despite its shortcomings, the Super 88 did contribute to the growing popularity of V8 engines in American cars, helping to set the stage for the muscle car era that would follow in the 1960s. A strong engine can only do so much if the car itself is too heavy or poorly designed to take advantage of it. In a competitive market, a car's design needs to stand out. The Super 88's conservative appearance failed to make a lasting impression. The Super 88's inability to evolve with the changing tastes and expectations of buyers ultimately left it behind in a rapidly advancing market. The 1953 Oldsmobile Super 88 stands as a cautionary tale of a car that relied too heavily on past successes. While the Rocket V8 was a technological marvel in its time, the Super 88's weight, uninspired styling, and lackluster handling meant it couldn't compete with its more agile and innovative rivals. Number 11, 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner, a car that showcased incredible innovation for its time, but ultimately failed to live up to its performance potential. The Skyliner is a fascinating case study of how groundbreaking technology can sometimes overshadow a car's practicality and performance. The 1950s were a golden era for automotive design and innovation. Manufacturers sought to wow consumers with futuristic features, bold styling, and cutting-edge technology. Ford, eager to outshine its competitors, introduced the Fairlane 500 Skyliner in 1957, a car with a fully retractable hardtop, a first for the automotive world. This feature was Ford's way of pushing the boundaries of engineering and creating something truly unique. However, while the Skyliner drew attention for its retractable roof, it struggled in other key areas, ultimately limiting its appeal. The Fairlane 500 Skyliner was part of Ford's flagship Fairlane lineup, which featured bold chrome accents, a long hood, and dramatic tail fins. The Skyliner shared these features but stood out thanks to its retractable hardtop, which could fold into the trunk with the push of a button. The roof mechanism was a marvel of engineering, utilizing 7 electric motors, 4 lift jacks, 4 lock mechanisms, and 10 relays. When retracted, the hardtop folded neatly into the trunk, leaving no visual indication of the car's hardtop origins. The Fairlane 500 Skyliner came with a range of V8 engine options, including the base 292 cubic inch V8 and the larger 312 cubic inch Thunderbird Special V8, producing up to 245 horsepower. Despite these engine choices, the Skyliner's performance suffered due to the retractable hardtop's added weight, which pushed the car's curb weight to over 4,000 pounds. Ford positioned the Skyliner as a premium model, priced higher than many competitors. The retractable roof was marketed as a symbol of sophistication and modernity, aimed at buyers who valued luxury and innovation over raw performance. The retractable roof mechanism added nearly 500 pounds to the car's weight, significantly reducing its performance. Acceleration and handling were sluggish compared to lighter competitors, leaving the Skyliner feeling underpowered. While the retractable roof was impressive, it was more of a novelty than a practical feature. The roof mechanism took up most of the trunk space, limiting the car's utility for long trips or family use. The roof's intricate system of motors and relays was prone to mechanical failure, leading to costly repairs. These issues undermined consumer confidence in the Skyliner's long-term reliability. The Skyliner's price was significantly higher than that of other Fairlane models and its competitors. Many buyers opted for less expensive convertibles that offered open-air driving without the added complexity of a retractable hardtop. Muscle cars and sporty coupes were beginning to capture the imagination of performance-oriented buyers, leaving the heavy, comfort-focused Skyliner in the dust. Despite its shortcomings, the Skyliner holds an important place in automotive history as the first mass-produced car with a retractable hardtop. Its bold engineering inspired later innovations and remains a symbol of 1950s creativity and optimism. However, as a performance vehicle, the Skyliner was a disappointment. It couldn't compete with lighter, more agile cars in terms of speed or handling, and its high price and mechanical issues limited its appeal. The retractable hardtop was a technological feat, but its complexity and weight undermined the car's overall functionality and performance. A car needs to balance innovation, performance, and practicality to succeed. The Skyliner leaned too heavily on its roof gimmick and sacrificed other crucial aspects. Ford misjudged its audience, aiming the Skyliner at luxury buyers, but failing to deliver the refinement and performance they expected. The 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner is a fascinating example of how bold innovation can both elevate and undermine a car's success. While it dazzled with its retractable hardtop, the Skyliner's weight, complexity, and lack of performance left it struggling to find its place in a rapidly evolving automotive market. Today, the Skyliner is cherished by collectors for its uniqueness and historical significance. Number 10. 1958 Chevrolet Impala, a car that marked the debut of one of Chevrolet's most iconic nameplates. While the Impala would go on to become a legend in the automotive world, its initial outing, especially with the 348 V8, was a mixed bag of bold styling, innovative design, and significant performance drawbacks. The late 1950s were a time of rapid change in the automotive world. As post-war prosperity grew, so did consumer expectations for style, luxury, and power. Automakers responded with increasingly elaborate designs, more powerful engines, and a focus on larger, more comfortable cars. Chevrolet, keen to establish itself as a leader in this new era, introduced the Impala in 1958 as the top trim level of its Bel Air series. The Impala was intended to blend luxury and performance into a stylish package, and the 348 cubic inch V8 engine was a key part of its performance aspirations. However, despite its ambitious goals, the first Impala fell short in several crucial areas. The 1958 Impala was a striking car, with its sweeping roofline, sculpted rear fenders, and signature triple taillights, a design cue that would become an Impala hallmark. It was wider and lower than previous Chevrolets, giving it a more imposing presence on the road. The interior featured a more luxurious layout compared to other Chevrolet models, with chrome accents and optional features like power windows and air conditioning. The 348 cubic inch W Series 5.8 was Chevrolet's first big block engine, designed to deliver a mix of power and torque. Output ranged from 250 to 315 horsepower, depending on the configuration, with options like triple two-barrel carburetors, known as Tri-Power. Despite these numbers, the engine struggled to make the Impala a true performance car due to the car's weight and handling limitations. The Impala was built on GM's new X-Frame chassis, which allowed for a lower overall profile but sacrificed rigidity and safety. The car's weight, well over 3,500 pounds, combined with soft suspension tuning, resulted in sluggish handling and less than ideal road manners. Chevrolet positioned the Impala as a premium offering, bridging the gap between mass-market Chevys and luxury models from brands like Buick or Oldsmobile. Its flashy design and upscale features appealed to buyers looking for style and comfort, but its performance left enthusiasts underwhelmed. The Impala's stylish body came at a cost: excessive weight. At over 3,500 pounds, the car was too heavy for the 348 V8 to deliver the kind of acceleration and agility expected of a performance car. While the engine had ample torque, it was hampered by the car's mass, making it feel sluggish compared to competitors. The X-Frame chassis, while innovative, lacked the stiffness required for sharp handling. Combined with soft suspension tuning, the Impala was more suited to leisurely cruising than spirited driving. In an era when performance cars like the Chrysler 300C and Pontiac Bonneville were setting benchmarks, the Impala 348 felt outclassed. The 348 engine's potential was undermined by the car's chassis and weight, leaving it unable to compete with lighter, more performance-oriented models. The 1958 Impala straddled the line between luxury cruiser and performance car, but didn't fully excel in either category. It lacked the refinement of true luxury cars and the athleticism of genuine performance cars, making it a jack of all trades but master of none. Despite its shortcomings, the 1958 Impala laid the foundation for one of Chevrolet's most enduring and successful nameplates. Its bold styling and upscale features resonated with buyers, helping it stand out in a crowded market. The Impala's performance issues, while notable, didn't deter Chevrolet from refining the formula in subsequent years. By the 1960s, the Impala had evolved into a true icon, offering powerful SS models, innovative engineering, and continued styling excellence. However, the 1958 model serves as a reminder that even legendary cars can have rocky beginnings. A car marketed as a performance model needs to deliver more than just horsepower. Handling, weight, and overall dynamics are just as important. Striking the right balance between luxury and performance is crucial. The Impala leaned too heavily on style and comfort, neglecting the driving experience. The Impala's later success demonstrates the value of learning from early missteps. Chevrolet's willingness to refine and improve the Impala's formula ensured its place in automotive history. The 1958 Chevrolet Impala 348 was a car of contradictions. It dazzled with its stylish design and upscale features, but fell short in delivering the performance and handling expected of a muscle-inspired car. While it failed to fully live up to its potential, it set the stage for the Impala's future dominance. Number 9, 1957 Plymouth Fury, a car that dazzled with its cutting-edge design and ambitious marketing, but fell short when judged by its performance and engineering substance. The Fury was Plymouth's attempt to break into the burgeoning high-performance car market. With bold styling and an aggressive name, the Fury promised excitement and power, but its first iteration, introduced in 1956 and carried over into 1957, failed to fully deliver. By the mid-1950s, American automakers were diving into the performance car market. Models like the Chevrolet Corvette, Ford Thunderbird, and Chrysler 300 were making waves with their sleek designs and powerful engines. Plymouth, known for its more practical offerings, sought to shake off its conservative image and attract younger, performance-oriented buyers. The Fury was born as a limited production, high-performance model intended to inject excitement into Plymouth's lineup. It featured bold styling, powerful engine options, and a hefty dose of marketing hype. But as we'll see, the Fury's execution didn't live up to its lofty aspirations. The 1957 Fury showcased Plymouth's forward-look design, spearheaded by legendary designer Virgil Exner. Its sleek lines, fins, and low stance gave it a futuristic, aggressive appearance that set it apart from more conservative competitors. Offered exclusively in sand dune white with gold accents, the Fury exuded exclusivity and style. Under the hood, the Fury came with a 318 cubic inch V8 engine fitted with dual 4-barrel carburetors, producing a respectable 290 horsepower. This made it one of the more powerful Plymouths of its time, but it lagged behind competitors like the Chrysler 300C, which boasted 375 horsepower. The Fury was equipped with torsion bar front suspension, a feature shared across Chrysler Corporation vehicles. While innovative, it wasn't enough to fully address the Fury's handling challenges. The car's weight and bias toward straight-line speed meant it lacked the agility needed for spirited driving. The Fury was marketed as a blend of luxury and performance, aimed at buyers who wanted something more stylish and exciting than Plymouth's typical offerings. While the Fury's 318 V8 offered 240 horsepower, decent power for a Plymouth, it didn't measure up to the more potent engines available in competitors like the Chevrolet Corvette or Ford Thunderbird. The Fury's performance was hampered by its weight, which made it feel sluggish compared to lighter, nimbler cars. The Fury's emphasis on styling often came at the expense of practicality and performance. Its bold design turned heads, but the car lacked the engineering sophistication to back up its aggressive looks. Plymouth hyped the Fury as a high-performance model, but its capabilities didn't live up to the muscle car image it aimed to project. Buyers expecting a true performance car were left disappointed. The Fury's high price and niche positioning limited its appeal, especially among budget-conscious buyers. It struggled to compete with better established performance models that offered more power and refinement for similar money. Despite its shortcomings, the 1957 Fury played an important role in Plymouth's history. It marked a turning point for the brand, showcasing its ability to produce stylish, aspirational cars. The Fury's design was influential, helping to popularize the finned, futuristic look that defined late 1950s American cars. Its use of gold accents and exclusive trim set a precedent for special edition models in the years to come. In terms of performance, the Fury's shortcomings highlighted the need for Plymouth to invest in more powerful engines and better handling. This lesson would influence the development of later models, including the famous Roadrunner and Barracuda. A car's styling must be matched by substance. Bold looks alone aren't enough to sustain a model's reputation or justify a high price. The Fury's failure to fully embrace the performance car ethos demonstrated the importance of understanding consumer expectations. Buyers in this segment wanted speed, power, and agility, not just good looks. While the 1957 Fury fell short, Its flaws paved the way for Plymouth's future successes. Learning from missteps is a crucial part of automotive development. The 1957 Plymouth Fury was a car of contradictions. It dazzled with its forward-thinking design and exclusivity, but faltered when it came to delivering the performance its name and marketing promised. Today, the 1957 Fury is remembered more for its styling than its capabilities. It serves as a reminder that bold design can capture attention, but substance is needed to sustain success. Number 8, 1959 Buick Invicta, a car that promised power and performance, but fell short of becoming the sportier option Buick wanted it to be. On the surface, the Invicta looked like a contender, with its bold design and powerful nailhead V8 engine. However, when you scratch beneath the surface, its shortcomings in handling and agility made it a disappointment for those seeking a true performance vehicle. In the late 1950s, Buick aimed to revitalize its lineup with a combination of luxury, style, and performance. Positioned between the Buick LeSabre and the flagship Electra, the Invicta was marketed as a sporty, upscale option for drivers who wanted a touch of excitement. At the time, there was a growing demand for cars that combined power with a refined driving experience. Buick sought to capture this market with the Invicta, promoting it as a car that could balance luxury and performance. However, Buick's execution missed the mark in several key areas. The 1959 Invicta was part of Buick's radical redesign, featuring the dramatic delta-wing tail fins and a wide, low-slung body. Its bold styling and chrome-laden front grille reflected the era's obsession with excess and grandeur. The Invicta was offered in multiple body styles, including sedans, coupes, convertibles, and station wagons, appealing to a broad audience. At the heart of the Invicta was the 401 cubic inch nailhead V8, which produced an impressive 325 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. Buick paired this engine with its Dynaflow automatic transmission, which was smooth but lacked the responsiveness needed for spirited driving. While the engine had raw power, the Invicta's performance was hampered by its size and weight, making it feel sluggish and unwieldy. The Invicta was built on a heavy, full-size platform that prioritized comfort over agility. Its soft suspension, while excellent for absorbing bumps, resulted in significant body roll and poor cornering capabilities. At over 4,000 pounds, the car's weight further hindered its ability to deliver a sporty driving experience. Buick marketed the Invicta as a sporty alternative within its lineup, but it struggled to establish an identity. It wasn't luxurious enough to compete with premium offerings from Cadillac, nor was it nimble or dynamic enough to appeal to enthusiasts looking for performance. While the Nailhead V8 delivered impressive horsepower, the car's handling characteristics didn't match its power. Drivers expecting a balanced, sporty experience were disappointed by the Invicta's lack of agility and responsiveness. The Dynaflow transmission, designed for smoothness, was ill-suited for performance driving. Its sluggish acceleration and lack of precision hindered the Invicta's ability to fully capitalize on its powerful engine. The Invicta's large, heavy body made it more of a grand cruiser than a performance car. Its size and weight worked against its sporty aspirations, making it feel unwieldy on the road. The late 1950s saw the rise of cars that delivered both performance and style, such as the Chevrolet Impala and Pontiac Bonneville. Compared to these competitors, the Invicta felt like a half-hearted attempt at blending performance with Buick's traditional focus on luxury. The Invicta was a stepping stone for Buick, representing an attempt to diversify its lineup and appeal to younger, performance-oriented buyers. However, it ultimately failed to leave a lasting impression. Its design was emblematic of the era, with exaggerated fins and an abundance of chrome, making it a collector's item today for fans of late 1950s automotive aesthetics. The Nailhead 5.8 engine also earned a reputation for reliability and torque, and it remained a staple in Buick's lineup for years. However, the Invicta's inability to balance power with handling and agility underscored the challenges of creating a true performance car in a brand rooted in comfort and luxury. Power alone doesn't make a car sporty. Without the proper handling and transmission, performance potential is wasted. The Invicta's lack of focus hurt its market appeal. A car must have a clear identity to resonate with buyers, whether it's a luxury cruiser or a performance machine. Buick's focus on comfort and smoothness was out of step with the growing demand for dynamic, engaging driving experiences. Staying attuned to market trends is essential for success. The 1959 Buick Invicta is a tale of missed potential. While it had the power to be a true performance car, its handling, weight, and transmission undermined its aspirations. It remains a fascinating example of Buick's attempt to break into a new market segment, and its bold design ensures it will always hold a place in automotive history. Number 7, 1958 Edsel Citation, the top-tier model of Ford's ill-fated mark. The Edsel was meant to bridge the gap between Ford and Lincoln, offering a blend of luxury, innovation, and performance. Instead, it became a cautionary tale in automotive history, with the Citation at the forefront of its failures. In the mid-1950s, Ford believed there was a gap in the automotive market. They envisioned the Edsel as a car for middle-class Americans, aspiring to own something more luxurious than a Ford, but less ostentatious than a Lincoln. The Edsel lineup launched in 1958 with 4 series, and the Citation was the flagship model. It came loaded with advanced features and unique styling, aiming to set a new standard for luxury and performance. However, its execution left much to be desired. The Citation sported the distinctive Edsel grille, a controversial horse-collar design that polarized opinions. While it was bold and unmistakable, it was often criticized as unattractive and overly ornate. The Citation's large body and sweeping lines made it a visually imposing car, but its size also contributed to its heavy, cumbersome feel on the road. The Citation was equipped with a 410 cubic inch MEL V8 engine, producing 345 horsepower. This was impressive on paper and gave the car strong acceleration. However, the car's excessive weight, over 4,300 pounds, dampened its performance, making it sluggish in real-world driving conditions. One of the Citation's most innovative features was its Teletouch automatic transmission, which placed the gear selector buttons in the center of the steering wheel hub. This futuristic design aimed to set the Citation apart from competitors. Unfortunately, the Teletouch system was riddled with reliability issues. The complex electromechanical mechanism often malfunctioned, leaving drivers stranded or struggling with unresponsive gear shifts. The Citation was positioned as a luxury model, with prices starting around $4,000, approximately $40,000 today. This made it more expensive than many of its competitors, including models from Chrysler and Cadillac. For its high price, buyers expected a refined and reliable experience, which the Citation failed to deliver. The Teletouch transmission was a prime example of Edsel's overreach. While innovative, it wasn't thoroughly tested before production, leading to frequent breakdowns. This unreliability not only frustrated owners, but also damaged the brand's reputation. The Citation launched during an economic recession in the United States, when consumers were tightening their budgets. Sales of large, expensive cars like the Citation suffered across the board. Edsel's timing couldn't have been worse, and the Citation's high price made it especially vulnerable to declining demand. Ford's marketing campaign for the Edsel promised a revolutionary vehicle, but the final product didn't live up to the hype. The Edsel's polarizing design, particularly the grille, turned off many potential buyers. The Citation faced stiff competition from established luxury brands like Cadillac, Chrysler, and even Mercury within Ford's own lineup. These rivals offered proven reliability and similar features at comparable prices. The Citation's size and weight made it cumbersome to drive, especially compared to nimbler competitors. Its poor handling further alienated buyers looking for a luxury car with modern driving dynamics. The Edsel brand, including the Citation, was discontinued after the 1960 model year, making it one of the shortest-lived marques in automotive history. The Citation's ambitious features, such as the Teletouch transmission, were later refined and adopted by other manufacturers, but the car itself is remembered as a failure. Today, the Citation has a cult following among collectors who appreciate its bold design and historical significance. It serves as a reminder of the risks and rewards of innovation and the consequences of failing to execute ideas properly. Introducing advanced features like the Teletouch transmission is admirable, but thorough testing is essential to ensure reliability. Launching a high-priced luxury car during a recession was a critical miscalculation. Timing is as important as the product itself. While bold styling can differentiate a car, it must resonate with the target audience. The Citation's grille alienated more buyers than it attracted. The 1958 Edsel Citation is a case study in how ambition without proper execution can lead to failure. While it had the potential to be a groundbreaking luxury car, its flaws overshadowed its innovations. The Citation story is a cautionary tale for automakers, reminding us that success in the automotive industry requires a balance of bold ideas, practical engineering, and an understanding of market conditions. Number 6, 1957 Studebaker Golden Hawk. The Golden Hawk is a fascinating car because it embodied both innovation and excess, showing Studebaker's desire to compete in the burgeoning performance car segment. Yet despite its promising supercharged V8 and respectable power, it ultimately failed to gain the traction Studebaker needed. In the 1950s, Studebaker was struggling to stay relevant as the Big Three, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, dominated the automotive industry. Studebaker needed a car that could stand out, and the Golden Hawk was part of an effort to carve out a niche in the growing market for performance-oriented coupes. The Golden Hawk was positioned as a halo car, meant to showcase Studebaker's engineering prowess and attract attention to the brand. But despite its potential, the Golden Hawk faced significant hurdles that prevented it from achieving widespread success. The Golden Hawk was powered by a 289 cubic inch Packard 5.8 engine, equipped with a McCulloch supercharger, producing 275 horsepower. For its time, this was impressive performance, and it allowed the Golden Hawk to compete with cars like the Chevrolet Corvette and Ford Thunderbird in straight-line speed. However, the engine was heavy, which negatively impacted the car's handling and overall driving dynamics. The Golden Hawk featured a distinctive two-tone design with a long hood and short deck, emphasizing its powerful engine. Unfortunately, the styling was polarizing. The exaggerated tail fins and upright grille felt out of place compared to the sleeker, more modern designs of its competitors. Many critics and buyers found the Golden Hawk's proportions awkward, giving the car an unbalanced appearance. Inside, the Golden Hawk offered a relatively upscale experience with optional leather seating and chrome accents. However, the interior wasn't particularly spacious, and the car's fit and finish were inconsistent, further detracting from its luxury aspirations. While the supercharged engine delivered strong acceleration, the Golden Hawk's heavy chassis and rear-wheel drive setup made it challenging to handle, especially on winding roads. The suspension was not tuned for sporty driving, and the car lacked the finesse expected from a true performance coupe. At nearly $4,000, equivalent to around $42,000 today, the Golden Hawk was expensive. This put it in direct competition with more established and better-rounded cars like the Ford Thunderbird and Chevrolet Corvette, both of which offered a more refined blend of performance, style, and prestige. The Golden Hawk's design struggled to resonate with buyers. Its tall stance, long hood, and fins created a profile that looked dated even in 1957, especially compared to the low-slung, sleek lines of competitors. While some buyers appreciated its unique appearance, the majority viewed it as clunky and unrefined. The Golden Hawk was neither a true luxury car nor a full-fledged sports car. It fell into an awkward middle ground, failing to appeal strongly to either segment. Enthusiasts who wanted raw performance were disappointed by the Golden Hawk's weight and handling, while buyers seeking comfort and refinement found better options elsewhere. By the late 1950s, Studebaker was already facing financial difficulties. The company lacked the resources to properly market the Golden Hawk or refine its design and engineering for mass appeal. This lack of support meant the Golden Hawk was doomed to underperform in a highly competitive market. The Golden Hawk was discontinued in 1958 as Studebaker shifted focus away from performance cars in an effort to stay afloat. However, the Golden Hawk's innovative use of a supercharged engine helped cement its place in automotive history. Today, the Golden Hawk is appreciated by collectors for its unique styling and impressive straight-line performance. While it failed to achieve commercial success, it remains an interesting example of Studebaker's attempts to innovate and stand out in a challenging market. In the 1950s, automotive design was as important as performance, if not more so. The Golden Hawk's awkward proportions and outdated design choices limited its appeal, proving that aesthetics can make or break a car. While the Golden Hawk's supercharged V8 was a strong selling point, its poor handling and heavy weight undermined its potential. True performance cars require a balance of power, agility, and refinement. The 1957 Studebaker Golden Hawk is a fascinating case study in automotive ambition. It showcased bold engineering with its supercharged engine but fell short in execution. Awkward styling, high pricing, and a lack of refinement doomed it in a market filled with better-rounded competitors. While it may have been a commercial failure, the Golden Hawk is a reminder of the risks and rewards of innovation. It highlights the importance of balancing design, performance, and market appeal to create a truly successful car. Number 5, 1959 Pontiac Bonneville, a car that has earned its place in history as a symbol of elegance and excess, but not as a true performance car. As the automotive world began to embrace speed and sportiness in the late 1950s, the Bonneville struggled to find its footing. While it offered luxury and bold styling, it lacked the edge needed to stand out in the rapidly growing performance car segment. By 1959, the American car market was shifting. Performance cars were gaining traction, with automakers like Chevrolet, Ford, and Chrysler introducing models that prioritized speed and sportiness. Muscle cars were still a few years away, but buyers were already gravitating toward vehicles that offered power and excitement. Pontiac, traditionally seen as a more staid and conservative brand, sought to redefine itself with the Bonneville. Introduced in 1957 as a high-performance luxury car, the Bonneville carried high expectations. However, by 1959, it had evolved into a full-size, luxurious cruiser that prioritized comfort and style over performance. The Bonneville was undeniably striking. Its long, low profile, dramatic tail fins, and wide grille made it a visual standout. The wide-track design, introduced in 1959, gave the Bonneville a broader stance, enhancing its road presence and improving its handling slightly. Inside, the Bonneville featured premium materials from leather upholstery to chrome accents, creating an opulent driving environment. The Bonneville was powered by a 389 cubic inch V8 engine, which produced up to 300 horsepower in its most potent configurations. While these figures were impressive for a luxury car, they didn't translate into the kind of performance that thrill-seeking buyers expected. The heavy curb weight of nearly 4,000 pounds significantly dulled the car's acceleration and handling, making it feel more like a boulevard cruiser than a sports car. The Bonneville offered cutting-edge technology, including power windows, power seats, and air conditioning. These features were more aligned with luxury than performance, reinforcing its identity as a high-end vehicle rather than a contender in the growing performance market. While the Bonneville's 389 V8 provided respectable power, it wasn't enough to offset the car's weight and size. Pontiac's focus on comfort and luxury overshadowed any efforts to position the Bonneville as a performance vehicle. Buyers seeking excitement and speed turned to smaller, nimbler cars like the Chevrolet Corvette or the Ford Thunderbird. The Bonneville struggled to define its identity. Was it a luxury car, a performance car, or a combination of both? This lack of clarity hurt its appeal, as it couldn't fully satisfy either luxury buyers or performance enthusiasts. The late 1950s saw the rise of competitors like the Chevrolet Impala and the Chrysler 300 series, which offered similar luxury features but with better defined performance credentials. The Bonneville's price point also put it in competition with true luxury brands like Cadillac, further complicating its market position. As the 1960s approached, car buyers were beginning to prioritize agility and sporty driving dynamics. The Bonneville's size and weight made it feel outdated in a market that was starting to value excitement over excess. The Bonneville's failure to carve out a niche in the performance market didn't mean it lacked success altogether. It became one of Pontiac's flagship models, celebrated for its luxury and style. However, its reputation as a performance car never materialized. Pontiac would later find its stride in the muscle car era with models like the GTO, proving the brand could deliver excitement when it focused on performance. The Bonneville, on the other hand, remained a symbol of comfort and elegance, appealing to buyers who valued prestige over speed. The Bonneville's failure to fully embrace either the luxury or performance market demonstrates the importance of a focused strategy. A car cannot effectively serve two distinct buyer groups without compromising in key areas. No matter how powerful an engine is, excessive weight can undermine a car's performance. The Bonneville's hefty curb weight negated much of its potential, leaving it unable to compete with lighter, more agile vehicles. The 1959 Pontiac Bonneville was a car of contradictions. It offered impressive styling, powerful engines, and luxurious features, but it lacked the performance chops to compete in an increasingly competitive market. While it may have fallen short as a performance car, the Bonneville remains a fascinating chapter in Pontiac's history. It highlights the challenges of balancing luxury and performance, as well as the risks of failing to adapt to changing buyer expectations. Number 4, 1955 Mercury Montclair, a car that embodied the style and optimism of 1950s America, but failed to deliver the performance and driving dynamics to match its sporty ambitions. While it made a strong visual statement, the Montclair struggled to compete with more agile and powerful contemporaries, leaving it more of a showpiece than a serious contender in the performance market. The mid-1950s marked a transformative period in American car culture. Manufacturers were racing to combine bold styling with powerful engines to cater to a growing audience of performance-oriented drivers. Cars like the Chevrolet Bel Air, Ford Fairlane, and Chrysler C300 set benchmarks for blending style with substance, appealing to buyers who wanted both curb appeal and thrills behind the wheel. Mercury, positioned as a step up from Ford but below Lincoln, aimed to capture the attention of customers seeking a touch of luxury without entering premium territory. The Montclair, introduced in 1955 as the flagship of Mercury's lineup, was intended to showcase the brand's capabilities. The Montclair's two-tone paint schemes and extensive chrome trim were eye-catching and fully embraced the post-war obsession with bold, futuristic design. The Merc-O-Matic wraparound windshield was an innovative touch, offering a panoramic view that enhanced its modern image. Its sleek lines and prominent grille ensured it turned heads wherever it went, securing its place as one of the most stylish cars of the era. The Montclair was equipped with a 292 cubic inch Y-block V8 engine, producing 198 horsepower. While respectable, it fell short compared to rivals like the Chrysler C300, which boasted a staggering 300 horsepower. The heavy curb weight of the Montclair further hampered its acceleration and overall performance, making it less dynamic than it appeared. Handling was another weak point. Its soft suspension prioritized comfort over agility, resulting in a floaty driving experience that lacked the precision expected from a sportier model. The Montclair's cabin was its standout feature, featuring high-quality materials, a futuristic dashboard, and comfortable seating. While it provided a sense of luxury, these appointments added to the car's weight and reinforced its focus on comfort rather than performance. The Montclair's engine, though adequate for leisurely cruising, lacked the power to excite performance enthusiasts. Its handling was uninspiring, with noticeable body roll and a lack of responsiveness that disappointed drivers seeking a spirited ride. Mercury poured significant resources into the Montclair's aesthetics, but this focus came at the expense of engineering advancements that could have improved its performance. The car's flashy looks created high expectations that its lackluster driving experience couldn't fulfill. Rivals like the Ford Thunderbird, Chevrolet Bel Air, and Chrysler C300 offered similar styling with superior power and performance. The Montclair's positioning as a near-luxury vehicle put it in a challenging middle ground where it struggled to appeal to buyers focused on performance or outright luxury. Mercury marketed the Montclair as both a luxury cruiser and a sporty car, but it lacked the refinement to rival true luxury models and the power to challenge legitimate performance cars. This ambiguity diluted its appeal. The Montclair remains a symbol of 1950s Americana, celebrated for its bold design and luxurious features. However, it serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of balancing form with function. Its inability to back up its looks with performance prevented it from achieving the iconic status of some of its contemporaries. Mercury would later try to refine its approach, but the brand continued to struggle with defining its identity. The Montclair, while visually memorable, illustrates how style alone isn't enough to ensure success in a competitive market. The 1955 Mercury Montclair is a fascinating piece of automotive history. While it succeeded in turning heads with its striking design, its lack of performance and muddled identity hindered its ability to compete in a rapidly evolving market. Today, the Montclair stands as a reminder of the challenges automakers face when trying to balance style, performance, and market positioning. As we look back on cars like the Montclair, we gain valuable insights into what makes or breaks a car's legacy. Number 3, 1954 Dodge Royal V8, a vehicle that marked an important milestone for Dodge as the brand introduced its first V8 engine. While the Royal V8 represented progress and ambition, it ultimately failed to compete effectively with more refined and innovative offerings from rival automakers. The early 1950s were a time of rapid innovation in the American automotive industry. With World War II in the rearview mirror, automakers focused on pushing the boundaries of design, engineering, and performance. Brands like Cadillac and Oldsmobile had already introduced high-performance V8 engines that were smooth, powerful, and reliable. These engines set a high standard for what consumers expected from a modern car. By 1954, the Big Three, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, were locked in fierce competition to deliver vehicles that offered style, performance, and cutting-edge technology. In this climate, Dodge, a division of Chrysler Corporation, sought to elevate its offerings and compete more aggressively in the mid-priced market segment. Dodge equipped the Royal with its new 241 cubic inch Hemi V8, dubbed the Red Ram. This engine produced 140 horsepower, which was a respectable figure for the time. The introduction of the Hemi engine was a significant achievement for Dodge, as the design promised improved combustion efficiency and power. The Royal was positioned as Dodge's premium model for 1954, featuring modest but attractive styling that was conservative compared to flashier competitors like the Chevrolet Bel Air or Ford Crestline. Chrome accents and optional two-tone paint added a touch of elegance, but the overall design lacked the excitement to stand out in a crowded market. The Royal's interior offered decent comfort for a mid-priced car, with available features like a push-button radio and upgraded upholstery. However, it didn't set new standards in luxury or innovation. While the Red Ram V8 was technically advanced, it lacked the smoothness and refinement of V8 engines from General Motors. Dodge's first attempt at a V8 showed promise, but was not polished enough to impress buyers. Vibrations, noise, and inconsistent throttle response made the driving experience less enjoyable than what competitors offered. The Royal's design was serviceable but uninspiring. In an era when cars like the Chevrolet Bel Air were capturing imaginations with bold, futuristic styling, the Royal struggled to turn heads. Its restrained appearance failed to convey the performance potential of its new V8 engine. While the Red Ram Hemi was a technical achievement, the rest of the car felt outdated. Dodge didn't equip the Royal with features or advancements that could have differentiated it from rivals. For example, other automakers were introducing power steering, power brakes, and more sophisticated automatic transmissions, whereas the Royal lagged behind in these areas. The 1954 market was crowded with standout models. The Chevrolet Bel Air, Ford Crestline, and Oldsmobile 88 all offered superior styling, performance, or features. Dodge's relatively late entry into the V8 market placed it at a disadvantage, as other brands had already built strong reputations for their engines. The 1954 Royal V8 was an important stepping stone for Dodge, as it introduced the brand's first V8 engine and laid the groundwork for future innovations. However, its shortcomings in refinement, design, and features prevented it from achieving success in the highly competitive, mid-priced market. Dodge recognized the need for better refinement and more exciting styling, lessons that influenced its future models. By the late 1950s, Dodge had begun producing cars like the Dart and the Coronet, which were better aligned with market demands. Today, the 1954 Dodge Royal V8 is appreciated as a historical milestone rather than a classic performance car. Its rarity and the significance of the first-generation Red Ram Hemi engine make it an interesting collectible, but it remains overshadowed by more successful models from the era. Introducing a groundbreaking engine isn't enough if the rest of the car feels outdated. Dodge's focus on the Red Ram VI-8 was admirable, but the lack of innovation in other areas held the Royal back. In the 1950s, bold and exciting styling was as important as performance. The Royal's conservative design failed to resonate with buyers seeking cars that reflected the optimism and exuberance of the era. Buyers in the mid-price segment expect a car that feels polished and enjoyable to drive. The Red Ram's potential was undermined by a lack of refinement in its execution. Entering the V8 market later than competitors put Dodge at a disadvantage, as buyers had already developed loyalty to established engines from brands like Oldsmobile and Cadillac. Number 2, 1955 Packard Caribbean, a luxury convertible that aimed to embody elegance and performance, but ultimately fell short of success. Despite its powerful engine and lavish features, the Caribbean's high price tag and Packard's waning reputation in the automotive market contributed to its decline. Packard was once synonymous with luxury, craftsmanship, and innovation in the automotive industry. Founded in 1899, the company established a reputation for producing high-quality vehicles that catered to wealthy buyers. By the early 1950s, however, the company faced significant challenges. The post-World War II boom had led to increased competition, with brands like Cadillac and Lincoln dominating the luxury market. Packard experienced financial difficulties, leading to declining sales and production. In 1955, the company sought to revitalize its image with the introduction of the Caribbean, a model that represented both luxury and performance. The 1955 Caribbean featured a stunning design that embodied the glamour of the mid-1950s. With its long hood, sleek lines, and distinctive chrome accents, the Caribbean was designed to turn heads. It was available as a convertible and hardtop, offering buyers the option to enjoy open-air driving. The Caribbean was equipped with a powerful 320 cubic inch V8 engine that produced 240 horsepower, providing the performance expected from a luxury car. The car's performance was complemented by a smooth ride and advanced engineering for its time, including the use of torsion bar suspension for improved handling. Inside, the Caribbean offered a sumptuous interior with high-quality materials, including leather upholstery and intricate wood accents. Features such as power windows, a high-fidelity radio, and spacious seating made it a comfortable ride for passengers. The Caribbean was priced significantly higher than competitors, making it less accessible to potential buyers. In an era when other luxury brands offered comparable features and performance at lower prices, the Caribbean's cost was a major deterrent. By the mid-1950s, Packard's reputation had suffered due to financial instability and inconsistent product quality. Buyers were increasingly hesitant to invest in a luxury vehicle from a brand that seemed to be struggling, leading to a lack of confidence in the Caribbean's long-term reliability. Packard faced stiff competition from well-established luxury brands like Cadillac and Lincoln, which had a loyal customer base and were known for their innovative features and performance. In comparison, the Caribbean struggled to differentiate itself in a crowded market, with many consumers opting for vehicles from more recognized names. Packard's marketing efforts for the Caribbean were insufficient, limiting its visibility and appeal to potential buyers. Additionally, distribution challenges hampered the ability to get the car into the hands of interested customers. The 1955 Packard Caribbean serves as a case study in the challenges faced by luxury automakers during a transformative period in the automotive industry. While it had the potential to be a standout model, a combination of factors contributed to its failure. The Caribbean would see limited production numbers, with only around 3,200 units produced in its debut year. It ultimately became a symbol of Packard's struggles during a time of significant change in the automotive landscape. Today, the 1955 Caribbean is considered a classic among collectors, valued for its design and the nostalgia it evokes. Its rarity and unique features have made it a sought-after model among automotive enthusiasts, despite its commercial failure. A luxury vehicle must strike the right balance between features, performance, and pricing. The Caribbean's high price limited its market appeal, even with its luxurious offerings. The importance of brand reputation cannot be overstated. Packard's declining status made it difficult for potential buyers to invest in the Caribbean, even when it offered a compelling product. To compete effectively, luxury brands need to not only innovate, but also communicate those innovations effectively to consumers. A strong marketing strategy can help shape public perception and drive sales. The automotive market is dynamic, and manufacturers must adapt to changing consumer preferences and competition. The 1955 Packard Caribbean represents a fascinating chapter in automotive history, highlighting the ambitions and struggles of a once revered brand. Although it was a luxurious and powerful vehicle, its exorbitant price and Packard's declining reputation ultimately led to its downfall. As we reflect on the Caribbean, we can appreciate the complexities of launching a new model in a competitive landscape and the importance of aligning product offerings with market expectations. The lessons learned from the Caribbean story continue to resonate in the automotive industry today. Number 1, 1958 DeSoto Adventurer, a car that was ambitious in its engineering and design, but ultimately failed to capture the attention it deserved in the competitive landscape of the late 1950s. Despite offering a powerful Hemi engine and a striking design, the Adventurer struggled to establish its identity and was overshadowed by Chrysler's more prestigious 300 series. DeSoto, introduced in 1928 as a division of Chrysler Corporation, was positioned as a mid-priced automobile brand that sought to compete with established names like Ford and Chevrolet. By the 1950s, DeSoto aimed to elevate its image by offering stylish, performance-oriented models. The Adventurer was introduced as the brand's flagship for 1958, embodying DeSoto's aspirations for luxury and power. The 1958 Adventurer featured bold, angular styling that was characteristic of the era, including a long hood, wide stance, and distinctive tail fins. Its chrome accents and vibrant color options aimed to attract attention on the road, making it a visually striking vehicle. Under the hood, the Adventurer boasted a 345 cubic inch Hemi Phi 8 engine that produced an impressive 360 horsepower, offering robust performance that appealed to enthusiasts. The Hemi engine was known for its innovative design, providing better airflow and increased power, and was a significant selling point for the Adventurer. Inside, the Adventurer was equipped with high-quality materials, including leather upholstery and plush seating, designed to compete with other luxury brands. Features such as power windows, air conditioning, and an advanced audio system added to the vehicle's appeal, enhancing the driving experience. Despite its powerful engine and luxurious features, the Adventurer struggled to compete with Chrysler's 300 series, which was positioned as a more prestigious performance vehicle. The 300 series had already established itself as a benchmark for power and style, leaving the Adventurer to play a supporting role in the eyes of consumers. DeSoto faced challenges in defining the Adventurer's market position. It was caught between being a performance car and a luxury vehicle, which diluted its appeal to both segments. Many consumers found it difficult to identify the Adventurer as a standalone model with its own unique identity, leading to confusion about its target audience. The late 1950s brought economic uncertainty, with rising fuel prices and shifting consumer preferences towards smaller, more economical cars. As a result, buyers were less inclined to invest in large, powerful vehicles like the Adventurer, which contributed to declining sales. The 1958 model year was a tumultuous time for DeSoto, as it faced financial difficulties that led to a limited production run. Only around 1,500 Adventurers were produced, making it rare, but also limiting its visibility in the market. The combination of its short lifespan and lack of marketing made it difficult for the Adventurer to gain traction among potential buyers. While the 1958 DeSoto Adventurer did not achieve the success its creators envisioned, it has become a notable classic among collectors and enthusiasts today. The Adventurer's rarity and unique features have made it a sought-after model among classic car collectors, appreciated for its bold design and powerful HEMI engine. Its status as a niche vehicle with an interesting history has contributed to its appeal in the classic car community. The story of the Adventurer serves as a reminder of the importance of brand positioning, market awareness, and clear identity when launching a new model. It highlights the risks of trying to cater to multiple market segments without a defined strategy, which can lead to diluted messaging and lost opportunities. Establishing a clear identity for a vehicle is crucial in a competitive market. Brands must communicate what makes their vehicles unique and desirable to consumers. Staying attuned to economic conditions and consumer preferences is essential for success. Adapting to changes in market demands can help manufacturers remain relevant. Highlighting a vehicle's strengths, such as performance or luxury features, is vital for effective marketing. Successful models often have clear, focused marketing campaigns that resonate with their target audience. The 1958 DeSoto Adventurer represents an ambitious effort to create a luxury performance vehicle during a challenging time in the automotive industry. Despite its impressive specifications and striking design, it failed to carve out a niche for itself, largely overshadowed by the more prestigious Chrysler 300 series. As we reflect on the Adventurer's story, we gain insights into the complexities of automotive marketing, brand identity, and market dynamics. The lessons learned from the Adventurer can inform current and future automotive endeavors, reminding us that success in this competitive landscape requires a deep understanding of consumer needs, clear messaging, and adaptability.